Hi everyone, let's begin in this video, common method bias. Nowadays, method bias is a very important concept, and number of the A star and A category journals, they are asking for this common method bias problem, how you had sort out. And we will discuss today in this video what is this common method bias, and as well as how we have to resolve this and what are the remedies. So let's share my screen. I'm sharing my screen so you can see here. This is the uh, basically what we are doing in this common method bias. What we are doing, common method bias, or we can call it common method variance also. So common method variance is the spurious, basically we can say variance that is attributable to the measurement method rather than to the constructs the measures are assumed to represent. And basically this is the one of the very important paper. This one is Podaskov PM, and this paper is easily available, and you can download this paper and you can go through this paper. Systematic error variance shared among variables measured with and introduced as a function of the same method and or resource. So this paper is also available. You have to go through this paper. That is in very well defined manner. They have defined this all the common method variances or biases they had mentioned. And when we can call it CMB also, and it measures are affected by CMB or common method bias, the intercorrelation among them can be inflated or deflated depending upon the several factors. So we are saying due to what in the presence of the common method bias, it can be inflated or it can be deflated also. Those that one is the correlation among the variables. So that is also reported by William L.J. Brown. This paper is also available. Now let's we come to the what, why, and remedies. In this video, we will learn what is common method bias and why we are studying this common method bias, what is the role of this common method bias, and what could be the remedies of this common method bias. So let's begin this thing. There is the, if we talk about, there is the two kinds of remedies we can consider and two kinds of common method bias is there: ex ante remedies and ex post remedies. That means when before starting this any research, we have to take care all those measures, how we have to collect our data. That is the ex ante remedies. And ex post remedies means after collecting this data, how we have to resolve this problem, how we have to sort out this problem. So ex ante preventive techniques, what could be the preventive techniques we can apply? So you can see here several ex ante remedies exist that help to avoid or minimize possible common method variance. And important remedies have been compiled and discussed by Cheng et al. That is also one of the very important paper, 2010. Linden Whitney also 2001, and Podolskov et al. 2003. I have taken these references, so you can also go through these papers. Then you could understand how we have to preventive techniques we can apply. So the most important thing, your items, your those items you are taking into consideration, that should be very small, very simple, and there should be clarity. And honest answer we require, because sometimes people say, people think about this. If I'm giving you, this is my honest opinion, because nothing is right and nothing is wrong in this questionnaire when you are filling this questionnaire. So there should be the honest answer, whether you agree or you do not agree with this answer, with these options. And the most important preventive technique is independent and dependent items should be placed separately. People are doing what they are doing. They are mixing both these kinds of factors, or we can call it constructs. So better, I think, independent and dependent kind of items should be separately, you should design. And different scales for dependent and independent variables, like different scales means when we're talking about semantic scale, or we are talking about Likert scale. So I think different scales you should use when you are collecting your data. And section wise categorization also, right? Section wise, as I mentioned here, right? Section wise, like each and every item, each and every variable or factors that you have to put, say, all the items in a same category. Then you should move to another category. And you should give confidence to your respondent. This data would be confidentially, it could be maintained. There would not be, it would not be leaked, it would not be shared, and it would be jumbled up with other respondents data also. And when we talk about the lengthy questions can be converted into small questions, because sometimes people are monotonous. Monotonous should be break. People, they should not be feeling bored. Yeah, this is a very lengthy questions, and I'm filling up, and after that, he or she will not be give you correct answer or correct response. These responses would be biased. So it could be converted into small questions. Then we come about ex post. This thing we have to handle with statistical techniques only, right? It would be, we would handle statistical techniques like Richardson et al. Investigate 3 ex post techniques to test the common method variance, or we can call it common method biasness. Number one is the correlation marker technique. Second one is confirmatory factor analysis marker technique. And the third one is the unmeasured latent method construct, ULMC technique. So only the CFA marker technique turns out to provide some value, whereas the commonly used Herman test does not turn out to provide such values. So definitely I am going to share with you in the next video all the statistical techniques I would share. And what are the sources of the common method bias, right? It could be related to person related, right? Like mood, consistency, survey related, right? Survey related, it could be like items ambiguity, similarity of the items. Its length and its language also might be possible. In which particular language you are asking this question, it is that would not giving to that person respondent to correct meaning. So I'm sure these are the some sources. Mood swing is also right now your mood is good, and might be possible after some time somebody will ask you your mood is not good, and you are not giving him a correct response. So these are the some points I had discussed related to common method bias. If you have any queries, so please write in the comment sections, and I'm sure this video would be helpful to you. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you how statistically we have to improve. This one is the ex post portion. We will discuss through some statistical methods how we have to improve. And I'm sure this video would be helpful. Thank you so much.